The Cleveland Browns travel to Las Vegas for a late afternoon meeting between two teams staring down the same record but completely different realities. Cleveland arrives with a defense carrying the weight of an offense that can't stay upright. Las Vegas returns home searching for a spark, one clean drive to remind them they can still control a game instead of bracing for it. This matchup isn't about records, it's about which team blinks first when the rhythm breaks. Shedeur Sanders steps in for Cleveland. Last week, the moment swallowed him. 4 completions, an interception, and a tempo he never quite caught. He has arm strength, yes, but timing is the currency of the NFL, and he hasn't earned enough of it yet. Behind an offensive line taped together by injuries, he faces a Raiders front ready to blitz until he either cracks or forces a throw that shouldn't leave his hand. Geno Smith brings steadier breath to the Raiders' offense. He's not explosive, but he's patient, decisive, and more importantly, he knows how to survive pressure without losing the shape of the play. With Brock Bowers and Ashton Jeanty as anchors, the Raiders can move the ball just enough to keep Cleveland's defense from suffocating the game entirely. And today's AI pick is Raiders minus 3.5. Will we cash or will we burn? On to game 2.
The Jaguars and Cardinals meet in the desert for a matchup that carries more volatility than the line first suggested. Jacksonville arrives at 6-4, trying to prove they can steady a season defined by streaks. Arizona sits at 3-7, but the market reversal this week tells a different story. One where sharp money refuses to treat the Cardinals like a dead team walking. Trevor Lawrence leads the Jaguars with over 2,000 yards on the season, but his efficiency has been inconsistent. When pressured, his reads slow, his footwork widens, and drives stall. Against a Cardinals defense that leans on disguised looks and midfield rotations, Lawrence's margin for error narrows. He has the talent to break a game open, but he also has the tendency to drift when timing disappears. Jacoby Brissett stands on the other sideline. He is not a star, but he is stable. He protects the football, keeps the offense on schedule, and feeds Trey McBride, the most dependable weapon in this matchup. When a game needs control instead of chaos, Brissett delivers enough to tilt the field. And today's AI pick is Cardinals plus 2.5. Will we cash or will we burn? On to game 3.
The Falcons and Saints meet inside the Superdome, two rivals staring across a season neither expected to go this way. Atlanta arrives at 3-7, trying to claw back from a 5-game slide. New Orleans sits at 2-8, but comes in with momentum after a win before the bye. In a division built on volatility, this matchup is about who can stay steady long enough to claim control. For Atlanta, Kirk Cousins leads the offense. Reliable, precise, veteran calm. That's his strength. But so far in limited action, the production hasn't followed. He threw for just 250 yards with no touchdowns in his lone significant outing. With Drake London out and the offensive rhythm sputtering all year, Cousins faces a Saints defense that tightens inside its own building and forces quarterbacks into checkdowns they don't want to take. For New Orleans, Tyler Show brings youth and fire. He's thrown for 586 yards and 3 touchdowns in only 83 attempts, and the Saints are learning how to build their offense around his mobility and timing. With Chris Olave as his primary weapon and Alvin Kamara healthy enough to grind between the tackles, Show gets a chance to control pace instead of chasing it. And today's AI pick is Saints moneyline at minus 134. Will we cash or will we burn? On to game 4.
The Eagles and Cowboys meet under the lights in Dallas, a rivalry that never arrives quietly. Philadelphia enters at 8-2 with the division in their hands, but they know this stadium changes momentum fast. Dallas stands at 4-5-1, staring at a season that can still be rescued, but only if they strike tonight. Every rivalry has a heartbeat, and this one never stops. Jalen Hurts leads the Eagles with composure that settles an entire offense. Nearly 2,000 yards through the air, 16 touchdowns, No interceptions. He plays like the moment bends toward him instead of the other way around. With Saquon Barkley behind him and Devonta Smith stretching space, Hurts turns small windows into drives that matter. Against a Dallas defense struggling on every level, his calm becomes its own form of pressure. Dak Prescott stands on the other sideline with numbers that look brilliant, over 2,500 yards and 21 touchdowns, but the Cowboys' inconsistency catches him at the worst times. When protection wavers, Dallas stalls. When rhythm breaks, drives collapse. CeeDee Lamb can punish any coverage, but even he can't erase the volatility around him. And today's AI pick is Eagles -3. Will we cash or will we burn? On to Game 5.
The Buccaneers and Rams meet under the primetime lights with playoff weight on both sides. Tampa Bay comes in at 6-4, slipping at the wrong time after back-to-back losses. Los Angeles stands at 8-2, riding momentum, swagger, and one of the hottest quarterbacks in the league. When the lights go up in SoFi Stadium, this is the kind of matchup that shows you who's built for late November. Baker Mayfield leads the Buccaneers with grit and a willingness to fire into tight windows. His numbers are solid, 17 touchdowns, over 2,300 yards, but pressure forces him into hero ball mode, and against this Rams front, that's a dangerous rhythm. Emeka Egbuka gives him a real weapon, but defenses have shifted their attention hard toward him, forcing Mayfield to work through reads faster than he wants. Matthew Stafford stands across from him with MVP-level confidence. 27 touchdowns, pinpoint accuracy, and a system that lets him dictate everything at the line. With Kieran Williams running with burst and Puka Nacua turning intermediate routes into first downs, the Rams have balance that wears defenses down. Tampa's secondary has struggled all season against efficient passers, and Stafford punishes hesitation. And today's AI pick is Rams -7. Will we cash or will we burn? On to recap with Lilith.
Tonight, we walk back through the fire. English recap Raiders -3.5, Cardinals +2.5, Saints moneyline -134, Eagles -3, Rams -7, Spanish recap Raiders -3.5, Cardenales +2.5, Santos línea de dinero -134, Águilas -3, Carneros -7. Back to English. Like and subscribe. Will we cash or will we burn? And remember, wenn die Nacht am dunkelsten ist, beginnt das Licht zu sprechen. When the night is at its darkest, the light begins to speak.